Hey, this is Tiqqle, and in this video we're going to talk about the recent nerfs that came out for Enhancement Shaman. Yeah, I couldn't believe that I'm saying this, but nerfs to Enhancement Shaman. There was a PvP patch notes, and there has actually been a lot of enhanced, like, small tweaks recently with Flame Shock spreading, with Lava Lash, and a lot of weird stuff. And I'm a little confused why Enhancement Shaman's getting so much focus of, like, tinker, tinker, tinker. After like kind of buffing their damage. Obviously they're doing a lot of damage right now, but it just seems a little weird to pick on them so much, especially because they have not been in the meta for so long. But let's go ahead and talk about the nerf that came out for healing. I'm going to talk about why I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I'm also pretty not happy that these are the things that are being focused on. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'll also have an example of how much healing is actually happening right now before the nerf, so it'll give you a little bit of perspective. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Number one, the only thing that they're nerfing is the healing increase from Maelstrom weapon provided by the Conduit. Focus Lightning has been decreased by 70% while engaged in PvP combat. And if you don't remember, at the launch of 9.2, additionally, Healing Surge throughput got overall nerfed. Same thing with Word of Glory, and I actually kind of chalked that one up to scaling of item level, scaling of stats, all that, and even like this Conduits. All because of all that scaling, they did that type of nerf. So this is kind of the second healing nerf that we've seen for Enhancement Shaman. And people are messaging me a lot about this, and the fact is this. Let's talk about what's actually changing here before people get up in arms that Enhance is going to be dead after this. Oh no, we're, whatever. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the numbers. Now, I'm not going to claim that I know the exact math cut down here with the 70%, but here's the deal. In game right now, my Focus Lightning Conduit gets buffed by my Conduit tree and gives me, if you don't know how this works, a Maelstrom weapon increases the damage or healing from your next spell by an additional, and in my case in game, I have by an additional 10% per stack. So that is using 5 stacks of Maelstrom weapon. That is an additional 50% healing by my next spell or damage. And in this case, we're talking about healing. So healing, 50% additional healing. That's quite a bit. And this all comes into play because Focus Lightning was buffed considerably in going from a 9.15 to 9.2, which actually it's actually a great thing for Enhance. It means our spenders of Lightning Bolt and the big blaster cannon of LE Blast are now actually doing damage. It's opened up new covenants. It's opened up a new play style for Enhance, and I'm really happy about it. Now, that big change went from this Focused Lightning giving it was like 0.5, it was like 1.5 per stack increased damage, or like up to 3%, I believe. So going from that 1.5 to 3% increase per stack to 10% was a huge buff. And we can feel it. I will admit, even in PvE and in PvP, you can feel it. Now, the healing aspect is what Blizzard is picking on, because additionally, going from 1.5 or 3% scaling to 10%, that's about an 80%, that is like, it's not an 80% increase. It's like a, 800% increase. Don't pick on me, okay? YouTube comments, don't pick on me that much, okay? Keep playing your DH. But here's the deal. That was a considerable buff. So now if you think about it, my 10%, if they're decreasing that by 70%, now I'm kind of back down at like a 3% per stack scaling. Now, all this number jargon, okay, Tiqqle, whatever, what's the deal? Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you how strong this is now. And it's not just Focus Lightning scaling, right? We have Swelling Waves, which also increase, it heals us 3 seconds later for 50% of the heal, you have to keep in mind. And we have Swirling Currents that every Shaman spec will use in PvP because healing is our defensive. We only have Astral Shift as a defensive. Sure, Rock Ellie's healing increase as well. But we only have 1 damage reduction. All of our defensives come from our healing. So I think that's why a lot of people take it to heart when they see Enhancement Shaman getting nerfed in this way. And I kind of agree. Blizzard, if you, give us something else to compensate. Give us some more damage reduction somehow, right? I would really like that in a big way. But anyway, so all that kind of rolling up scaling is kind of why they made this adjustment, and this doesn't really worry me. I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really concern me at all in terms of enhancement PvP, but what I find an issue with, well, first we'll show you what it looks like and why I was doing 45k self-heals, 30k heals, and I was able to sustain myself for a pretty long time in a BG, just kind of testing this out. I'll show you that now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there and I'm literally going to let somebody get me down to 30%. And I'm going to show you basically our sustaining heals are very strong. Well, as I start to get in there, I'll just point out, for example, Swelling Waves, remember, does mirror 50% of the heal like a few seconds later. When we're healing for potentially 30Ks, that's repeating at 15K. That's giving us 45K healing throughput. So, you know, I like it. It's great that we have such strong kind of healing side of things, but, you know, I understand why a little bit of scaling down is going to happen. And honestly, it's not really that much when you look at how it compares to like what was done in the previous patch. All right, here they go. They've noticed that I'm in the back row here. I'm going to let my health go down a little bit. I hope I don't get healed by our healers. I'm not. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use the biggest heal possible. I'm going to drop my healing stream. Big heal there. So, like, what did I just heal for? I was healing for a lot. You can tell, and obviously the Swelling Waves show the repeat. So if I'm healing for, like, if my heals are, like, 30Ks, then okay. If we get scaled down a little bit, it's okay. Here's the deal. I'm not really that worried about this. This is not a game changer for Enhancement Shaman and PvP. We're still going to be spending a lot of our Maelstrom weapon stacks on damage. Our damage part of Focused Lightning is still there, which is great to hear. Now, overall, I don't see it as a big deal. I will see it as a big deal if we are no longer viable, because if you think about prop paladins, for example, in Arena, prop paladins were in Arena. They were, one of the reasons why they were so good was because their healing was insane. And it was insane. Rep paladins similarly early in the X-Pack. And Blizzard did not nerf them 2 weeks into the patch, right? They did make some adjustments, but overall they were around for a very long time. So I don't know what it is actually about Enhancement Shaman that, like, maybe it's because they did get such an overhaul, but what bothers me about this is that Enhancement Shaman are, like, not hanging on by a thread in PvP, but, like, it is very hard for people to want to play Enhancement Shaman. It's a very complex damage rotation compared to pretty much every other melee. No offense, Demon Hunters and Rep Paladins. I'm sorry, but it's, like, at least 2 more buttons than you guys. It's also a hybrid of melee and range, the most that any other melee, any other class really is. And to be honest with you, they don't have defensives, and it hasn't been in the meta for so long that it's so weird to me to see like these types of adjustments. And I understand why this is a big scaling overhaul, but I guess like the changes that we're seeing are very, like, a very few things. But if you think about it, an Enhancement Shaman of all the classes that has hybrid self-healing capabilities is actually like healing, I won't say it's healing less because it is actually probably healing more, but there are other classes, other hybrids that have way more damage reduction. They, like, all the druid specs, their healing throughput is insane. It's instant. They don't run out of mana, and their defensives, their damage reduction is out of this world compared to Enhancement Shaman. And then you look at Demon Hunters. Demon Hunters having huge healing potential based on their demons, right? I'm just like a little bothered that Enhance like doesn't have a lot right now. And honestly, like, they're doing well. Like, they're doing a ton of damage. LE Blast is pumping. The Wolves are going to be out of this world with 2-set, 4-set. It's going to be very fun. But I guess what bothers me is that, like, this is what they pick to pick on. Obviously, there has been a lot of changes, and I love the fact that Blizzard is including commentary here. I think that this is great to kind of give insight into why. I really would love a state of PvP coming out of Blizzard, talking about every class, because there are some outliers. Demon Hunters, what is going on? They're back to BFA status of just doing giga damage by just existing. Their immolation aura just does so much damage, and their dash does so much damage. It's crazy. You know, similar things that people have talked about with warriors, with their executes, right? So of those big outliers, you're picking on the defensive capability of a spec that will barely get invited to do any PvP content. That's the reality. Then that's why I get bothered. I would love to see either damage reduction, some type of damage reduction provided, or even another buff to their PvP damage or PvP talent that actually makes them a little bit more viable and a little bit easier to play. One of the things about Enhanced Shaman, and you could say like, oh, Rogue's the same way, is an Enhancement Shaman is nothing if it doesn't have uptime on the target. It needs those Maelstrom weapon stacks to generate, to be able to use spenders for casts or heals or anything. You could say the similar thing with Rogues. Rogues have to do combo points, you know, monks have to get chi, all that stuff. But it's so core to Enhancement Shaman that they can get shut down really easily by just not allowing them to hit the target at all, like through kiting very easily, or just through, I don't know, denying them from even starting ramping up in the beginning of the game, which is what you see against RMPs, and why Enhance, one of the reasons why Enhance just gets clobbered is that they don't have a chance to do anything in terms of building up their resource that is like core to their class. So, but anyway, overall, I wanted to show you and explain to you why I'm not really worried about this, but from a PvP aspect, I really hope that we get, you know, kind of some more tweaks and some more balancing. I'm hoping that somehow we will see some adjustments of like up and downs. Like this was pretty, I mean, immediate after the patch came out, right? But I hope, like, you know, we see something happen with Demon Hunters. We see some stuff happen with, like, Marksman Hunter aim shot. There was, like, something going on that was crazy. People getting two-shot. Like, I'm not saying nerf stuff. I'm just saying, like, I want more classes that are in the lower tiers, the things that people haven't been playing all X-Pac. Like, I know so many people that reroll DH, Warrior, Ret, like, I get it, guys. Go spin on those Windwalkers and one shot. Like, have fun, win your games. But I just hope that Enhance does get a good shot this patch, you know, to really shine. So with that being said, we'll see you on stream every day, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And come by, we'll do some PvE, PvP. I've been doing some more PvE lately. PvP is really gated in terms of gearing, so I'm doing PvP to try to get my tier set early because I really want to play around with those. They look very fun. Even after the LE nerf, I wanted to get that one for PvP. That one should be a really fun for lava bursts, actually doing some big damage. So that being said, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys, so much. Appreciate the love and the shaman passion. We'll see you in the stream. Adios.
You can bubble. Yeah.
How much HP is left?
20k, let's
He's
go.
got
50, 10k there.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh my god, dude! Oh my god, that's actually...
Easy kill. The first try every time.
It's every
Wow, what the...